Hello everyone and welcome back to Pepple's Potager. So today is May 9th, 2020, and it is a very cozy 83 degrees inside the greenhouse here. So my tomato plants have been kept really warm in here. Last night it got down to nearly 32 degrees. Right now it is 34 degrees outside here in Maryland Zone 6. So very cool May night. And the next couple nights it's supposed to be really cool as well. But all my tomato plants and pepper plants and other things I have going here are kept nice and warm inside the greenhouse with the heater going. And that being said, I want to go ahead and give everybody a tour of what's been going on here lately. So let's go ahead and get started. So here's my tomato plants that I'm growing. I started these probably 3 weeks ago, and they are doing very well. I have the Cherokee purples over here on this side, and got the Brandywine reds here, and they are a potato leaf variety of Brandywine red, and you can definitely tell which ones those are. You can see the potato leaves right here, and they get very wide leaves on them when they get mature, and they look very nice in the garden. I love growing potato leaf variety tomatoes. This is the first time I've grown the Brandywine reds. I've grown Brandywine pinks before, but not the red, so I'm looking forward to seeing how well these turn out. I also have some cherry tomatoes here, which are called the Black Pearl, and they have kind of a dark color like the Cherokee purples. And then I have a container variety tomato called Atlas growing here in the back, and that's by Burpee. Supposedly it's a beefsteak variety that you can grow in containers, and it is a determinate variety, so I'm interested to see how well that turns out. Now, I did start my peppers pretty late this year. I do have some coming out right now, but for the most part we don't eat a lot of peppers, so it's okay that I planted them late. I'll just get a lot of peppers later in the season, but that's okay by me. I do have a few other things growing over here. I have some lupine that I like to grow every year, and I also have some basil over here growing in the end of this tray. And so that's all I have going on in the greenhouse right now, but let's go ahead and we'll go take a look at what I got going on outside. Now, over here in this first bed, I did plant some squash. I planted some Dunjaw zucchini and some Tempest and Zephyr squash in this bed. I'm only going to do one bed of squash this year, but you can see the seeds haven't germinated, and being that it's been pretty cold last night, they probably won't germinate till sometime next week. But it's okay to go ahead and plant some seeds in there right now. Next week it's going to get much warmer. It's going to be in the 70s, so I'm pretty sure they will germinate by next week. And then I don't have anything planted in this 4x8 raised bed yet. I believe this is where I may plant the tomatoes this year, but haven't completely decided on that yet. Over here in this 4x4 bed, I do have some quinault strawberries growing here, and they are doing quite well. And as you can see, they took the cold temperatures very good last night. They got down to, I think, what I say, 32 degrees, and they're still going strong here. So the strawberries can take the cold weather. And then I do plan on growing some cucumbers right here in the middle, maybe around this tomato cage, upside down tomato cage, or I may get another trellis to stick right there in the middle to grow the cucumbers. Alright, so let's move on over to the center here, and you can see I have the Romeo cherry tree that I did a video on the other week. I put it in a temporary container, and since then I put it in a 20-inch container, and as you can see, it's doing quite well. A lot of new growth coming out on it, so hopefully we'll be getting some blossoms here soon, and so I can't wait to see how that turns out. Over here next to the fence line, we have 3 thornless blackberry bushes, and as you can see, I got a lot of weeds around it right now, but we recently put a border around it, and we're also going to mulch this area to get rid of a lot of the weeds that are down there. But as you can see, they're doing very nice. A lot of buds starting to form now, so we'll probably have some blackberries here before too long. these blackberries always do very well for me. And we also plan on putting some trellises behind them so that we can grow them higher and get more blackberries off of them. Or actually, what we plan on doing is putting these lattice panels behind them, and we're going to paint those as well. And so we'll be able to grow them maybe a little bit higher and get even more blackberries off of these than what we normally do. Alright, so moving on around here to the other beds. I have a 4x8 raised bed here. I haven't planted anything in it yet, but over here near the bean arbor in which I planted the Blue Lake stringless green beans last year, I've already planted my beans, and I have maybe one bean plant growing up there. The other ones haven't germinated yet. It did get pretty cold last night, like I said, but it looks like that bean plant there survived, so maybe it'll survive again tonight. We'll wait and see. But the rest of them probably won't germinate because it's too cold the next couple nights, but they'll probably germinate by next week. And on the inside of the bean arbor here, I did plant some nasturtiums. And some nasturtiums on this side as well. And then on the other side of the bean arbor, more Blue Lake stringless green beans. And then moving on over here, this bed is empty right now. I plan on using this bed for melons. I may grow some cantaloupes, some pumpkins, and some honeydew melons. Haven't completely decided, but I have plenty of seeds to put in whatever I want over here. But I believe this is going to be mainly a melon bed. Over here in this 4x4 raised bed, I planted a lot of cool weather crops. And if you look real closely here, you can see that there is a few seedlings coming up there. That is kale. That's white Russian kale that I planted here. And I got about 4 plants that I want to grow out of here. I'll probably thin them out as they get taller. I did plant some broccoli here in the center as well. So I got at least 4 areas that I planted broccoli seeds, and you can see there's some coming up there. And then I planted some carrots over here on this side, and as you can see there's some radishes there too. Those are coming up now. And then I had some beets over here on this side. Everything just now starting to come up. I did get a lot of these cool weather crops in late, but I think they will still turn out well. And then I have another 4x4 raised bed over here where I started some lettuce. I've also started some Swiss chard in here as well. And if you look closely, you can see some Swiss chard seedlings coming up there. There's some spinach seedlings popping up. And over here on this side of the bed, I did plant the lettuce. And with both of these raised beds, I actually used the seating square for the spacing on this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well the seating square did for these. I've used it before. I didn't use it that much last year, but I just wanted to see how good of a spacing I could get with those. And then I do have the Scarlet Spire apple trees, and they are doing quite well this spring. It doesn't look like there's any signs of apples on there yet, but that might come later. These have been here for about 2 years now, and I still haven't gotten any apples off of them, but they say it takes 2 to 5 years to get a decent amount of apples off of these, so we'll wait and see how they do. Now the Crimson Rocket peach trees are even doing much better than the Scarlet Spire apples, and as you can see on here, I have lots and lots of baby peaches growing on here right now. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get a big turnout on the peach tree this year. You look at all these. And with the cold weather that happened last night, I thought some of them might fall off, but they're doing pretty well. So I'm a little excited about this. I hope we get a lot of peaches off of these this year. And then over here we have some raspberry bushes. We don't get too many off of those. I don't have a whole lot of raspberries growing in there, but we do get a few off of those. And then at the bottom of the trees here, I still do need to mulch as well, but we haven't done that as of yet. But we'll get to that here soon. We've had a lot of projects going on in the yard recently, so just a lot for me to keep up with. We've taken out a tree that we had in the backyard here. There used to be a English walnut tree here, and we had to have it taken out because it was dead. But over here we actually plan on putting a fire pit. We also put a dogwood tree in. So things are coming along nicely, but a little slow for everything we have doing this year. We've got a lot of projects going on. And then I'm going to walk around the front, or actually walk on over here to the patio, and I'll show everybody the peach sorbet blueberries, and there's also a raspberry bush I have growing in a pot over here on the patio. We actually cleared the patio off here last weekend because we power washed it, so my plants are actually sitting in the driveway. We plan on staining the patio this year, so that's why we have the peach sorbet blueberry bush and strawberry shortcake raspberry bush on the driveway over here. So let's take a look at those real quick. And here is the peach sorbet blueberry bush, and as you can see, we've got quite a few flowers coming out in here, so we're definitely going to get some blueberries this year on this bush. So I can't wait to try some of those. And this is the strawberry shortcake raspberry bush, and you can see we already got a lot of buds coming out on that right now. So we'll be picking some raspberries from this. And that's all I have for everybody right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.